You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
Hey gang, welcome to another episode of the Safety Consultant Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Primus. It's the podcast where I teach you the business of doing safety consulting, talk about OSHA compliance, we talk about all kinds of stuff, get some guests in there sometimes to help you guys out. And this month, I am loading up the guests. I've been doing some interviews in the background, and you guys are going to be just excited. Just this month, October into November, I got some guests. I am throwing out the guests. So, welcome to all you guys who are just now joining, and those of you that haven't listened before, thank you for getting me on the radar for you. So I truly, truly appreciate it. And this week, I'm actually going to do a solo episode because I've been seeing a lot on my social media with some people starting their businesses now. So I want to make sure that since you're already starting your business and you got stuff going on, that I am here to help you out. So not everyone is going to end up being a person that is going to start a safety consulting business. Some of you are just listening because you are the person who is the pseudo safety consultant for your organization. So I understand that. So I know you've been listening just to make sure that you get some good information in. And I'm grateful for you guys doing that. And I'm very thankful that you're able to join me today, right? So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. This week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and help you guys who are going to start your business. I want to help you with understanding just a few things Yes, you've got my 7 steps to starting a profitable safety consulting business out there, and you can listen to those steps. If you're also someone who likes TV and actually being able to look at things on YouTube, well, actually, if you're like Roku and some of the other devices, then you've got the Safety Consultant TV product out there that has some information as well. So I've got a couple places, and then there is also the Safety Consultant Blueprint. So let me give you all the links there. The Safety Consultant Blueprint, you can find that at safetyconsultantblueprint.com. So again, safetyconsultantblueprint.com. Safety Consultant TV is an easy one. You just go to your app store and type in Safety Consultant TV, and whatever device you're using, that'll pop up. So again, Safety Consultant TV in the app store, or if you want to go online, go safetyconsultanttv.com. So there you go. No, excuse me. Oh boy, I almost had a failure there. So it is safetyconsultant.tv. All right, so safetyconsultant.tv. That's what you guys are going to help. So that's the basis of this conversation here. So some of you may just be ready for the podcast version. That's the free version. You get all the information. You listen to past episodes. You're going to get some really good help. Some of you may need to, you're ready to step into this thing a little bit more. So then you could use the Safety Consultant TV product to help you with even downloadables, because I do have downloadables on that site. When you log in, you'll be able to download samples of my pretty much samples of my safety programs. We got samples of let's see, I've got a sample of my actual proposals and training on there too. So not just the samples, but you got the trainings as well. So that's everything that you will see on Safety Consultant TV and safetyconsultantblueprint.com. That's a different product altogether. So when you get to safetyconsultantblueprint.com, what you're doing is you're actually signing up for my course. So the Safety Consultant Blueprint course, that's going to help you get a good understanding of just truly the step-by-step ways that I've been learning about safety consulting for myself. And I've had a whole bunch of lessons learned, and with my lessons learned, I just put that back to you guys in a course, really easy module where you could just have just steps to follow. That's really what the course is, steps to follow. So the information that you're going to get from this podcast episode is coming from that. So let me just go ahead and let you guys get the information you need. So first, choosing a name. And again, this is stuff that I've been seeing on my social network. And those of you who are on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/groups/safety consultant. That's the consultant group that I had started, and we've got over 2,500 I think we're up to 3,000 maybe safety professionals and people who want to be consultants or play the role as a consultant, and that's globally. So just do that, and you'll be able to see what I'm mentioning here about people asking about, how do you choose a name and everything else. So here's what I tell them in the post. So you want your name, since it's truly the first impression that a potential client has with you, your name's going to mean something to them. So it's not to be self-serving for yourself. It's for the clients to know that you are the right match for them. So here's for instance, when I first started, my company was Utility Compliance Inc. And my whole thing is I was going to do some counseling, consulting, that's a better word, for the utilities that I would work in. So the Utility Compliance Inc. was something that I would think of that be, all right, I'm a utility, I need to get some compliance. This seems like a natural fit. When I did start getting into OSHA compliance, then I had to switch things up a little. So I started a DBA called OSHA Compliance Help. And again, it's all in the name. If you need OSHA compliance help, you'd talk to me. So I was operating the two, utility compliance, OSHA compliance help. And I even still have my OSHA compliance help YouTube channel with the open playlist and everything else. You just have to go to youtube.com at OSHA compliance help. It should be what it is. So it gives you an idea of when you're ready to name your organization, it's not really for you. I could have made it Primus Safety Systems or something like that. And they will know that there's a safety system that I'm addressing. But honestly, it's a lot easier if I'm dealing with construction. I could put something in there like, Construction Safety Network. It's all in a name. You don't want the clients to have to guess too much as to what you do. If you have one of those names that is very memorable, your surname or something very memorable, like Primus, I hear a lot of people love the Primus name, right? And there's even a band out there named Primus, right? So I got some leverage with that. So I might, if I were to start a business again, throwing in the name Primus, using the leverage from someone else's just experience with my name, then okay, I can see something like that. But if you're just, Smith Safety, it may not have the same gravitas, So that's it. First thing you want to do is pick a name that is going to be simple, it'll be professional, it'll be something that will show relevance to the industry, and you also want to check and make sure it's available online too. If you pick a name and someone else has that name, that's going to be even more problematic. So before you designate your name of your organization, check the web to make sure that no one else has it. Check locally to make sure no one else has it, just in case you're one of those areas where you're a big city and there might be many other services. Check for that too. All right, so the next thing that you want to do, how to get your first client, right? You got a name, now you got to get clients. So here's me giving you the cheat sheet. Network, network, network. There you go. You got to network with friends and colleagues and family and church and everything else. Keep your ears open to hear things that would be hazards that you could find solutions for. And then not only that, listen to who the decision makers are so that you could contact the decision maker and not just get held up by whoever is the gatekeeper. You're probably going to have to offer some free consulting service. It may look like maybe a free half-hour training, or it may look like a free overview of one of their safety programs for compliance. Just make sure that if you're doing something free, it's not going to cost you too much to do any of this work except time. And the free offer, though, you want to get an email with a name on that one, and obviously phone number for that type of service. But you are going to have to start making an email list at some time, because that's going to help you with keeping on top of mind with everyone. And that's a lesson for a lot later. But honestly, you need to start your email list right now, even if you don't have an email service system. Because the next step to getting more clients is going to be leveraging things like LinkedIn and social media. So if you post about, you'll say your specialty is hydrogen sulfide, and you post a nice blog post on hydrogen sulfide, people might want to say, hey, this is a good post. Let me see where this guy is. This lady could help me out. So at that point, that's when you're going to need to draw them to you somehow. And that's going to be maybe a free ebook. It might be a free training. It might be an overview, a 15-minute talk with me. Something like that is going to get them in. But you want that email and the phone number so you could respond back to them later on and keep a conversation going. So you're going to also want to create some sort of portfolio or case study or something of work that you have done and you've been successful in. So if you're just starting, you're not going to have that opportunity. So think about things that you are doing with your current employer or did with a previous employer. That's the kind of stuff that you want to put in there and start your first case study. And so you're not going to reference your organization as doing this work, but you as the individual. This is your success story. All right, so that's the That's the two things that you're going to need to remember there. So far, I'm going to give you one more when we come back after the break. But right now, what you're going to be looking for is I want you to think of a name and make sure it's relevant to your industry. Keep it simple, keep it professional, check the availability and make sure no one else is using that name. Think about all the areas you could network and get referrals and what would be your free service. So while I'm away, you guys are going to think about that. And then when we come back, then I'll give you some more tips for getting started. All right?
We'll be back with more of Sheldon Primus and the Safety Consultant Show in just a moment. Are you ready to make a difference? Introducing the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Unlock your potential as a safety consultant. Learn the skills, strategies, and ethics to create safer workplaces for your very own client. From risk assessment to client acquisition, we've got you covered. Become a safety consultant and open doors to being your own boss. Join us and be the hero of workplace safety. Enroll today. Safety starts with you. Take the first step now. Visit our website and enroll in the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Empower businesses. Protect lives. SafetyConsultantBlueprint.com. We now return to the Safety Consultant Show. Once again, here's Sheldon Primus.
All right, well, welcome back. And now let's talk about the other stuff. Oh yeah, I also forgot to tell you guys as a reminder that you also want to get your LinkedIn and social media and all that. Start a business account too. So it's not your personal one. You want to do it through a business account and get that case study in. So now let's talk about pricing. So pricing is one of those things that is, you kind of have to think of it as a scientific method. So let's say you're doing training. Training you could do as a flat rate if you're going to, what I work with a lot of safety councils and people who are local safety networks, and I'll give them a day rate, and then they go through their people, if you would, their members, and then they say, we are offering this course during this time period for this day. So my payment's going to come through the council, and whatever they make over my day rate is going to be something for them. So that's a good way of doing it. If you're going to host your own class, and I started out hosting my own classes, I had to go through hotels and go through community centers are really good for hosting your own classes because they're great prices. And they're also looking for rentals too. So I go to those places. I'll make sure that it's, you might have to do a deposit, but make sure you can get your deposit back. Most of those times when you have to do a deposit, you want to make sure that you know exactly what date your deposit's gonna go, and set a couple of days before that as being the last day for registration. So you want to make sure that you have all information on registration from open registration if you're going to host your own classes, and do that just, maybe the week before or the Friday before the event, so that you just know exactly what to expect, especially if you're going to be providing food, because you need to order food services and all that stuff. Price that in. So that's another way of doing it. And when you're doing something like that, you are going to be drawing people in, so you're going to be doing the marketing yourself and everything else. If you're using a safety council, they're going to be letting their salesperson take over, and they're going to market the event because they have the ability to make some money from that. So that's going to be the difference between the two. You might have to do both, so don't think one's exclusive to the other one. When you're pricing, you want to consider the market, but you don't want to match everyone else's prices. The differentiator is you, what you bring to the table. So you want to make sure that no matter what you do, that you're going to price your worth, okay? And don't forget, for pricing with your worth, yes, it is going to be something you want to stay close to the market rate. Yes, you should know that, but again, you have to, if it's your pricing more, then you have to tell them why. I wouldn't price too much less, though. The reason why is you're going to end up undercutting the industry. So later on, when you want to do more and more services in your local area, if you're always the cheap one in there, sure, you can get business, but you'll end up getting stuck at that rate. So you don't want to do that. And you're going to undercut your market for the rest of the consultants around you, too. And that's also going to be a bad form for you guys. And you'll never really grow exponentially the way you should. So, well, give and take with the consideration on that part. So let's give you an example of, before we go on to the next one, this is an example of how I would test the market with prices. I would do OSHA 10s, and right now my OSHA 10-hour classes are about $325 per person. I'll give a discount for groups, like if you're sending multiple people, I'll give you a discount for that. I started pricing it at $225, and then I also priced the same service for $325, and I did a couple of prices in between. So my $225, I actually did not get as many people as my $325 rate. So you would have to price things. So that means you have to do these things often so you can get a range of pricing. And don't be scared to price it higher. Again, see what the market will feel. It's a perception thing. So if you're priced higher, the perception is that you're offering something better, and you should. You should offer something better, and that's your expertise and everything else. Here's another area, mock OSHA audits, mock compliance audits. You could do that hourly, but don't think about giving your clients an hourly rate. That's just to help you figure out how many hours you're going to spend on this project, and then price it from there as a project price. So let's say you're going to do 10 hours to do a mock OSHA or mock compliance audit, and you're going to think of the 10 hours plus the drive time, plus the report time, plus the delivery time. So your 10-hour actual audit is now turning into something that looks more like 15 hours, more like 20 hours, right? Don't forget that you're also paying your own insurance. So if your hourly rate for your company that you used to work for was $75 an hour, and now you're working for yourself and you charge $75 an hour, you're not actually billing in the amount of time, energy, and effort past the actual compliance time, and you're actually paying more for insurance, and you're paying your own cash. You're not using a company vehicle. You don't have the company tolls. So all that is going in. So for mock audits, honestly, you don't want to go much less than $150 an hour or something. And again, you're not going to price it to them as hourly fee. You're going to price it to them as a flat rate. Another way to adjust your flat rate would be working it out as in hazards. If it's a high hazard industry, they get a higher flat rate. If it's a low hazard industry, they get a lower flat rate. Even though it might take you the same amount of time for each one of the clients, you're going to represent the actual hazards that the workers are exposed to and you yourself are exposed to. And don't forget that, again, your reference point isn't what you really want. It's how much you're saving the client. All right, so let's say a client was to get a citation. I know OSHA citations, and let's say it's a duty to have fall protection. Most of those are going to be right around $5,000. So if I'm going to offer a fall protection class and then 10 workers are going to have the ability of having $5,000 each one for a training violation, then that's a $50,000 violation. So if I'm charging $1,000 for me to save the company $50,000, I'm losing some money in there. So again, you got to think about how much is your service worth to this individual, to this organization, and then that's what the price you're going to use. And the way for you to do that is truly to look at what would be the consequences if they don't have this service. And that's how you're going to find out what is it worth this organization. Last would be service contracts, the last two. Service contracts, when you're on a retainer, make sure you say the retainers for these deliverables. so you don't get scope creep where all of a sudden you're doing all kinds of jobs and your deliverables, if you didn't have any, you're like, hold on, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not going to also be your safety officer. I'm the consultant. So at that point in service contracts, give them clear deliverables that you are expecting out of them and that they should expect out of you. If you're going to do something monthly, especially showing up at a place for once a week, you're going to want to make sure you're going to take into account not only the time you're going to be there and give yourself an actual time, including lunch hours. I have a 6-hour workday with an hour lunch. That's what I put in my contracts. So put that in there so there's no ambiguity. People know exactly what your time is worth. And then stick to it. Also give them an hourly rate for if it's extra than the contract. So give them a clear scope of the contract, but they may need to call you for projects for, little things here and there. Give them an hourly rate for that. I remember the written programs and safety documents, which is the last conversation. I would do $70 an hour with a 3-hour minimum, and that's U.S. price. So the $70 an hour with 3 hours minimum, and that's when I first got started. So I knew for sure that I'm going to make X amount of dollars for one written safety program to review or to write. And in those cases, then if I were to find a deficiency, such as not only does it need an update in the training, but in their written programs, but they need training too, that's a separate price. So that's the upsell, if you want to say it that way. And I know sometimes people don't want to hear it like that, but that's really what it is. And so the tips overall for success: you need to know your market, yes, and understand it, but you need to know your value and the value of your service to the employer. That's the more important part. So think outside of what you used to make and what your hourly rate is and what you think is a reasonable hourly rate. You got to break yourself from that mindset altogether. What is your service going to be? How is your service going to monetarily help the potential client? And then you're not going to gouge them, obviously, because you want repeat business. So you're also going to think of, what services can I provide that is the next logical step for this client? And that's going to help you keep that client longer. And for each client, you want to have at least a 3x return. Sometimes I'd say a 4x return. So what that means is not only are you doing one service for them, let's say it's a training service, you want to come back next year and retrain, right? So that's going to be a second time you're going to work with this client. So that's 2 times. And that's what I mean by 4x. The x is how many times you're going to offer service. So one client, if you offer service to them 4 times, then that's a 4x relationship. And you could also include a 4x relationship or client relationship as being them referring you to someone. So that is also one of the X, if you were to think of it that way. All right? So let me sum up. Here's the recap. Let me sum up. Those of you guys that are Princess Bride fans are loving that one. So choose a name that is going to be relevant to your business, to your industry. Keep it simple so your clients don't get confused. Check that availability. Make sure no one else has got it. You're going to get your first clients by networking. Work your referrals. Work every angle you can. Constantly be listening out to who may be in need of service, friends of friends if you need. You're going to offer something free. And then also you want to think about leveraging your LinkedIn, social media. Get a case study of a success story that you've done. You want to think about your rates and how much you're saving the client, as well as, yes, some market value consideration, but you're going to offer what is right for you. All right. Lastly, if you're going to truly think about growth, don't undervalue yourself. It's important that you know that your worth is more as the consultant because you're the expert. So you have to charge as the expert, and that will be respected. And if you ever feel like I can't charge that much, think of how much would a personal accountant charge? How much would a lawyer charge? That's our peers. Okay, so think about our peer group. That's what the mindset should be. Mindset? Yes, mindset should be. A lot of S's in that one. All right, gang. That's it. I just want to make sure I gave you guys that information. Gave you a lot to think about. You're going to probably have to listen to this episode a few times, but take action. And if you're really ready to take action, I gave you 3 ways of doing that with me helping you. One is going back to other podcasts. That is absolutely free for you to do. Secondly, it will be going to Safety Consultant TV. Sign up for that. If you want to get 30 days free, you're going to have to sign up and do the monthly. And there's a code input you could put in, and it's SC101. When you put in that code, you'll get 30 days free. You can get some templates and downloads, watch some videos of me teaching you how to do certain aspects and for aspects of your business. And then for those of you that are ready, you've been at this for a little and you've been back and forth and you're ready to really commit, then go ahead and purchase the course, safetyconsultantblueprint.com. So the information you're going to get from that minimum amount of price that you're going to do for the course is going to help you keep your business running and get you going. All right, so those are the ways that you guys could, from free to paid, get your business off. All right, so you guys could do this, man. I got you. Gave you a bunch of information. I'm going to let you digest it. Listen to this episode as much as you want. It's free, and get some good information to keep you going. All right, go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.